Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some signs you have a group of fake friends. So without further ado, let's get into number one. Number one, I have you get in an argument and they throw your insecurities in your face. You guys, I'm sure we all have a friend like that who's technically not even a friend, to be honest with you. But if you know someone like that, and let's say, for example, you get in an argument and they're just like, bitch, that's why you have acne all over your face, or that's why, you're fat and you're trying to lose weight and you can't, or that's why you got stretch marks. Like, things like that, that's a big no-no. And let me just say, first things first, don't befriend those type of people, because it's gonna happen again. Like, someone who feels so comfortable to just throw your insecurities that you trusted them with in your face is not a friend. It's a fake friend. By the way, sorry for any background noise you hear in the back. But yeah, so if they throw anything in your face, you definitely shouldn't trust them. I've had so many situations, you guys, where it's happened, and I would just try to let bygones be bygones and trust them again, and that was the biggest mistake ever. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't do it. Don't befriend them, even if they say sorry. Like, don't hold grudges in that type of way. Like, forgive them, but just make sure that, from that day on, they're not your friend, okay? Like I said, someone that you trusted just throws all your insecurities in your face over an argument. Like, it's just uncalled for. Like, they've been waiting. They've either been waiting to say that to you, to tell you about yourself, or like your insecurities, or just you talking about them in general was something that in the back of their mind, like, really irritated them. And not irritated them, but I don't know, like, either or, they had a problem with it, and that's why they threw it in your face. But it was on the low that they had a problem with it until you got in an argument, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, two, they don't reciprocate the same energy. So if you're doing something nice for them, I'm not saying it's an eye for eye, but if you go out of your way and you do something nice for them, or let's say, you go to the store and you bring them something back as like a small gift, or just to simply let them know, like, hey, I was thinking of you, whatever the case may be. And you notice every time they go to the store, or whatever the case may be, they always get something for themselves, or, they don't think about you, and you know that they have it like that. That's also someone that, one, doesn't really care about you, and two, isn't really your friend to begin with. And they might just be someone who's hating on you on the low. Not even hating on you on the low. It's just a small dislike towards you. Like, they don't really like you, or they don't think of you they don't see you how you see them, if that makes sense. Number three, they do simple favors for you and they throw it in your face. Okay, so this one's my favorite, you guys. So I had this situation, and I worked at Dillard's at one point, and I was pretty new there, but long story short, one time I ended up getting off work, and my ride, which was supposed to be my boyfriend at the time, he was supposed to pick me up, and he was not there. He was running late, and I can't remember what happened in that situation, but either or, he was late. And I ended up waiting outside, and as I was waiting outside, some girl had pulled up, and she actually ended up, she worked at the same job I did, but I never saw her around because it's a big store. She ended up giving me a ride, and I thanked her. I told her, like, okay, like, I can pay you back when I get the money. And she's like, oh no, like, that's fine. And she seems cool and everything. Like, we kind of bonded on the fact that we're both from New York. But I came out here at a younger age, and she came out, like, in adult years. So she's been out there a lot longer than I have. And I'd say days passed, a week passed, right? And I run into someone she wanted me to meet, and she's just like, oh, so you guys met each other, and we're talking and everything. And she just randomly says, you guys, she's like, yeah, you know, like, I saved her life that one day. Like, one time this girl didn't even have a ride home, and like, I knew something was up, so I just sat there and I watched, and then I pulled up, and long story short, I gave her a ride home. But like, could you imagine what this girl would have did, like, if I wasn't there? Like, I saved her life. Like, who knows what she was gonna do without me. And the way she said that, you guys, rubbed me the wrong way. Right then and there, I was kind of like, oh heck no. Oh heck no. Because it just, like I said, it didn't sit right for me. Especially because it's like, okay, I offered you money, and two, you didn't have to go tell her that. Like, I'm just meeting her. Why would you tell her that? Like, I'd understand if like we were all together for a long time, you know, like friend group, and we're all talking, and then just randomly gets brought up, then that's another story. Like, we're all friends. But this is someone who I barely know. Like, this is your best friend. But it's like, why would you tell her that? And the way she said that, like, she wasn't even making eye contact with me. She wasn't really talking to me. And that's when I was just like, do I want her in my life in the long run? Because like I said, that rubbed me the wrong way. And yes, she did do me a favor, but it was still uncalled for. Like, first of all, I wasn't gonna die. Yes, it was cold outside and it was nighttime, but there's a lot of people around, so I doubt like I was gonna get killed or kidnapped or anything like that. So again, it was just really uncalled for. So be mindful of people like that. Like, when they do you a favor, like, they offer, but then they throw it in your face, especially when it's around someone you don't know, or just in general, like in a group or just out loud in public, they, you know, they say something like that. Like, that's really uncalled for. Number 4, they don't show love on social media, but they will show someone else in a group love. Okay, so this is almost gonna be like in the same topic of that Dillard's girl I was telling you guys about. And so there was also a point where there was this girl, and there was rumors going around not to befriend her, and that she was weird, and that she was bi-curious. Like, she was just going up to like other women, other men, and she was just being quote unquote weird. That's what everyone else was saying. But the same girl who did me the favor, she was telling me about her, and the girl that I just met, they were both saying like, yeah, like, she's a weirdo, stay away from her, like, just don't associate yourself with her. And I did like her at first, because she did seem nice and everything, but then, you know, in order for me to be like their friend and stuff, I figured like, okay, well, if they see me around her, you know, like, they're not gonna want to hang out with me, or whatever the case may be, was what I was thinking at the time. But I still did talk to her. I just wasn't reaching for like a friendship, or going after a friendship, I should say. And long story short, hold on, you guys, like, I'm trying to make sure I don't say anything that way, like, if any one of them do see, it's not gonna give away who they are. But okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. So basically, they sat there and they told me not to, you know, be her friend and everything, right? And that she's a weirdo, and like, they were talking mad crap. But then I go on social media, aka Instagram, and I see that they're friends and everything. So I'm like, okay. And whenever I would post something, I wouldn't get any like likes or comments or whatever, especially by them. But then, well, except for the girl that they told me stay away from, and she's weird. She was, you know, being nice and supportive, but the other girls, like, they were actually liking her photos and commenting under her photos, calling her pretty and everything. So when I tell you guys, it really confused me. Like, it confused me to the T, because it's like, you guys, like, hold up. You guys were telling me that she's weird, not to be around her, right? But you guys are on her Instagram, liking her photos, commenting, but you guys aren't showing me that love, the same love that you're showing her. Like, comment down below if I'm making sense. Like, how does that make sense? Wouldn't that rub you the wrong way? Like, it didn't sit right with me, because then I started thinking like, well, I wonder if you guys are saying anything about me, which in that case, like, I wouldn't see why they would have something to say about me, because like I really stayed to myself. I didn't even work with them to begin with. So the only thing they actually did see was me on social media, because we worked in different departments, like all of us, except for one of the girls, the girl that I was saying that I just met. We were in the same department, but she was in the jewelry section and I was in the purses and stuff. Whatever the case may be, I peeped that, you know, they weren't showing me love and appreciation, but they were showing the same girl that they talked a whole bunch of crap about. And that just screamed fake, completely fake. And that's when I'm like, okay, like, I gotta separate myself from them, because I just wasn't getting good vibes. Number 5, they blur out embarrassing things about you in public. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're going to the store, and for all my ladies who's watching, like, let's say you're on your period, right? And you end up getting a period stain on your pants, right? And you're walking, and it's not like really big or noticeable, but it's, you know, it's there. And instead of your friend, like, you know, calling your name for you to come to them, or just like coming up to you and whispering in your ear like, hey, like, you got a stain, like, let's try to cover it up, or anything like that, they blur out like, you know, like, yo, like, you got period blood on your pants, like I can see it from over here. But they say it so loud where everyone can hear, and now you have all eyes on you. Like, that screams fake. And some people might be like, oh, well, I was just trying to help you, you know, I was trying to look out. You can try to look out for me and help me without putting that, you know, in the public, without drawing attention to me. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, you could have, you know, pulled me to the side, or told me to go to the bathroom, and told me like, this is the reason why I told you to go to the bathroom with me. I want to let you know that, you know, you have a stain on your pants, and it's pretty much out there. You see what I'm saying? Versus literally blurting it out in public. That's a big no-no. Sometimes people are just loud, and I mean, they're just straightforward, and sometimes they just don't know. So you could let it slide, but if you let them know like, hey, I didn't really like that, can you be more discreet about it? And then the next time they do something similar or the same thing, that's when you know, like, they have to go. They're not a real friend. Yes, people have memory issues too, but like I said, someone who actually cares about you, they would remember that. They would keep in the back of their head what bothers you, and they will practice more on, you know, on being different and working on it, if that makes sense, right? Okay, 6, they make plans in front of you and not include you. I've had this happen to me like a few times, not so much, just because I've always been the type of person not to like being in big groups and just associating with people. Like, I always had, what do you call it? I always had trust issues, and like, I just never really trusted people like that, especially with like the things that I went through. But like I said, I had a situation, and one of the situations where I was in a group and they were making plans after school. So this was when I was in high school, I'd say freshman year. Oh my gosh. And everyone was making plans to go out, like, you know, hang out outside of school. And I noticed like nobody was talking to me, like they were all talking amongst themselves. And when I tried to talk to them or like give my piece, it was like I wasn't there. Like, literally, it was like I was a ghost. And it's like, you guys are right next to me. I know you guys hear me. And they were just making plans, and I didn't hear my name get brought in it. It didn't seem like they were trying to include me. And it got to the point where I had to ask, well, can I come too? And they looked and it's like, yeah, you can come. And others just looked at me and they were silent. But first of all, let me just say, The moment you have to ask, like, can I come too? That's when you shouldn't go. Like, you should automatically know that they got your back and that they want you there. You shouldn't have to even ask. Don't ever, ever, ever invite yourself somewhere. Like, if someone didn't invite you themselves, like the group, don't even invite yourself. Don't include yourself, because it's obvious that they don't want you there, and you don't need to be there. You don't need to be somewhere where you're not wanted, period. Like, I wouldn't, you shouldn't, nobody should. And, you know, it just sets you up and, you know, not a really, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but just not a healthy environment. And at that point, you're surrounded by people who don't even really like you, and things can go bad. That's all I can say with, you know, on that. Things can go bad. There's so many horror stories of people, you know, losing their lives, or just things really bad just by being in a group that doesn't like them, so on and so forth. But that's all I have for this video, you guys. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.